this question, I'd like to find the axis of symmetry, the x-intercept, and the y-intercept for this equation. There are many ways to do this. I'm going to show you two of them. The first method would be using the quadratic equation. So using the quadratic formula, I know that my a value is 1, my b value is -3, and my c value is 2. So plugging this into the equation, I have opposite b, which makes it positive, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. When I simplify, I get the following. 9 minus 8 is 1. The square root of 1 is 1. So my two roots, I get 3 plus 1 over 2, which is 4 over 2, which is 2. And I get 3 minus 1 over 2, which is 2 over 2, which is 1. So my roots are at 1 and 2. At 1, at the point 1. Actually, let me space this out a little bit. Go ahead and put 1, 2, 3. So I know the one's here, and the other one is here. Okay, those are my x-intercepts. So my x-intercepts are right here at the point 1, 0. My y-intercept, 1, 0 and 2, 0. My y-intercepts I don't know. I know my axis of symmetry has to be between 1 and 2, so it has to be on this line, or it is this line. It's crossing through the x, so I know my equation is x equals between 1 and 2 is 1.5. So my axis of symmetry is x equals 1.5. Now my y-intercepts. I need to graph the rest of my parabola to do this. Or I could know that for my x-intercepts, my y values were 0. For my y-intercepts, I know that my x value is going to be 0 because it has to be right on my y, which means it did not move left or right, so x must be 0. If I know that x equals 0, I can use my quadratic formula to put in x is 0. So go ahead, y equals, now I know x is 0, so I'll substitute 0 for x. So I get y equals 0 squared is 0, -3 times 0 is 0, so I get y equals 2, which would be an y-intercept of 0, 2. I told you I'd show you one more way to do this. So I'm going to also show you how to find the roots by factoring. So let's say I'd like to use factoring. I have y equals, x squared minus 3x plus 2. Once I factor, I would get y equals x minus 2 and x minus 1. So when I use the zero product property, I get x minus 2 equals 0, so x equals positive 2, and I get x minus 1 equals 0, so x also equals positive 1, which are the same roots that we found before. And then you would go ahead and know your axis of symmetry, and you would know your roots. And then the y-intercept I would find the same way. We know that this is a positive, so I know that my parabola is opening up, and if my y-intercept is here at 2, then I know it must look something. At 3, it's got a mirror image because of the axis of symmetry. So I know my parabola looks like that.